Now you're getting choppy.
Of course.
The most accurate Denver Bronco channel, according to our archives. Our archives say we are, because our track record is impeccable. And if you want to know what's really going on with the Denver Broncos, you come here, or you go, if you don't, and you want to be lied to, and you want to go to those guys that are wrong every year, you go to them and let them tell you it will be different this year. You will see, because of all the splash moves that this organization makes. I apologize, I'm on audio because, yet again, you can't have enough bars and get a signal here. So with video, so we're making it easier to buffer and going with audio. So today's conversation is about the safety extraordinaire who can't get hired anywhere, Justin Simmons. Also, we're going to talk about this cultural change, this foundation, supposedly of absurdity anyway, that Sean Payton's babbling on about. Do you want to go and start talking about this safety who can't seem to get employed, Justin Simmons?
Well, the safety that can't get employed, Justin Tony Lily Simmons, there's this agenda being pushed out by Sandy Cheeks, who I think has dementia. Well, starting to anyway.
Sandy Cheeks.
Sandy Cheeks. He was complaining yesterday on his, his radio station, whatever, his YouTube channel, saying that, and why is nobody signing him? Why is nobody signing him? Yeah, dude, the guy sucks, man. I mean, the guy is just, he's terrible. And when teams are about to sign a player, they watch the All-22 film. I hope you guys realize that. They watch the All-22 film. I've done this for how many years now? 4 or 5 years, showing how bad Justin Tony Lily Simmons is. And I think it got to a point where I think teams around the NFL finally realized that this guy's just, he's not a good safety.
Well,
I don't care how many arm punts he gets. I don't care how many lollipop interceptions he gets. He's not a great safety. He is no Steve Atwater. He's no Brian Dawkins. He's no Mika Fitzpatrick. He's no Buda Baker. He's no Marcus Williams, the guy you wanted from New Orleans Saints a few years ago. He's no Malik Hooker, who I wanted from the Colts a few years ago, who's way better, who's still on the Cowboys. He is no Kyle Hamilton, who I wanted in the draft from Notre Dame. He's none of those players. He's no TJ Ward. He's none of those players. And I
wanted to say something about this guy here did about a half a dozen films, maybe four to six videos on Justin Simmons, specifically ISOing him. And every time you did a Justin Simmons video, you got your channel taken down. It was of all your channels being taken down, it was because you did Justin Simmons. They did not want that video out there. And anybody could, if you actually sit and watch the video, before they took him down, you had people around the league like, wow, we didn't realize. Then, looking at the film, anybody can see it. You don't need to be an expert or anything. It's just pops. It pops in a bad way. And you had people around the league saying, wow, we didn't realize how bad this guy really is. And then you started taking your Justin Simmons film down. And I think that came when when he became the ambassador, when you had Von Miller leave and they anointed him as the ambassador. That's when everything really hit the fan. He just really got treated with kid gloves. And but your videos, it wasn't you saying it. You had the video evidence of why. And I just want to say this to any detractor out there. All you can do is, like Justin Simmons, wave for a fair catch and wave his interceptions. Can you explain to me why, he has a lot of teams have converted touchdowns against him and yardage that way exceeds these interceptions. Explain that to me. We have film after film after film showing that the offensive coordinators from every single team that the Denver Broncos play favor going after him in particular. Why would anybody spend the money to have a player that the offensive coordinators from other teams want to pick on? And that may explain some of his interceptions too, because quite frankly, these quarterbacks are so overrated. They're put under a lot of pressure to overproduce instead of simplifying things for them. And there's if you go and watch the films that was provided on, if you just go back and watch all the Bronco games on the NFL replay and watch all Justin Simmons, his interceptions, they're all errant. I'd say 26 of the 30 are errant throws in one form or another. I've never seen the guy jump around ever in my life, the whole time. So anyway, go ahead.
Well, Justin, again, I've said this from the very beginning, even when he got drafted in the third round by the Walmart Generals and John Elway, who, Justin Simmons is John Elway's boy. That's why he was anointed the ambassador of the football team, because he was John Elway's boy. But that being said, Justin Simmons lacks a lot of technique that you need at the safety position, let alone in today's NFL. I've said this for time and time again, that there were better safeties in that draft that you could have got, but instead you settled for John Elway in that front office settled for Justin Tony Lily Simmons, who fucking sucks. I mean, what really got me honed in on Justin Simmons is when he got beat by a 38-year-old Jason Witten when we played the Cowboys that one year in 2017, 2016, somewhere in there. I just said, man, this guy fucking sucks. And just it got worse and worse and worse each year. And then when they gave him that massive contract, when you could have got younger, you could have went out and got a Malik Hooker. You could have went out and got your guy, Marcus Williams, who went to Baltimore, who in my personal opinion, I think they have the best safety room in the NFL. With Marcus Williams and Kyle Hamilton and that young up-and-coming core behind them. You're not getting that in Denver. Again, Justin Simmons, he is so bad as a safety. I don't care. He would have never lasted in the early 2000s. He would have never lasted in the 90s, 80s, 70s, 60s. He would have never lasted. Dude, this guy would have got picked on. And,
they would have, he would have got cut. Because that style of football wasn't you don't play 40 yards off.
Dude,
you just don't do that.
Dude, I have high school football players that play better safety play than
Instinctual.
Well, they're just better overall. I have high school players that are better overall players than Justin Simmons. Yeah, I fucking said it. These are at least the kids that I engage with and I coach. Yeah, I'm a linebackers coach, but I'm also part of the defensive game plan. When I see these safeties, I'm like, my God, it's just like, why can't I get this from the team formerly known as the Denver Broncos, because they're so fucking inept. But Justin Simmons falls into a plethora of players that John Elway has hyped up over the years that it's just getting fucking old. I mean, Danny Clough, are you fucking serious, dude? I mean, come on. You really going to sit there and say that he's better than TJ Ward, that he's better than Brian Dawkins, that he's better than Steve Atwater, that he's better than Dennis Smith, that he's better than even fucking Raheem?
He's got arm punts. He has arm punts.
Yeah, but that, again, as a safety, you need to have instinctual awareness on your side of the field. Every time we watch Justin Simmons chop liver, he was playing goalie for Manchester United.
Yeah.
I mean, the guy was back 20, 30, 40 yards. And why do you think, he's never injured? Why do you think that is? Because he
doesn't want to get injured. He doesn't want to get injured.
30 yards back every fucking time. And then the times that he would be like a slot corner or a blitzer or whatever, the guy sucked. He sucks. Let's just call it like it is, Shop. The guy's terrible. He's not a good safety. And you know what? I hate to say this, but I think I single-handedly ruined this guy's career.
Well,
I do.
yeah, I mean,
I do. I honestly do.
Because we were getting input on those videos, and people around the league were like, holy cow. That's what I said. I mean, I knew that there was nothing special about him, but, when you start looking at the tape, it's like, wow. And then you see why offensive coordinators will pick on him. And this is what I want to say to the detractors, to the Rotar, to the content creators who just apologize constantly for their bad roster, is this. Explain to me, please. Somebody needs to explain how come he, as a safety, has given up more yards, has given up more touchdowns. They don't want to talk about that because they're constantly on his side of the field. Why do you think he has those arm punts and those errant throws to him? Because they're constantly going to his side of the field for a reason. He can't cover to save his life. He doesn't even want to cover. He just sits back and hopes for an errant pass. He gives up first downs. I mean, just think how many first downs that guy has given up. A plethora of first downs. I don't even think you could count them all.
How many touchdowns has he given up over the years? Well, I just want to expand on the point that you're saying, Shots Liver, in terms of Travis Kelce and Patrick Mahomes made their careers off of playing against Justin Simmons.
Yes. Oh, but he intercepted. Let's talk about the 2 interceptions. The last one last year is 2. I mean, they make those 2 as if that just defined Justin Simmons. Last year was clearly an overthrow. The year before, Justin Simmons was beat in the end zone, clearly beat in the end zone. Mahomes threw behind his receiver, and that's the only reason Justin Simmons happened to intercept the football. Had Mahomes hit his target in front of where he was supposed to, in front of the receiver, that would have been another touchdown. Yet another touchdown against Justin Simmons.
No detractor out there should be coming at us like that. They know their shit when it comes to the Simmons situation, because I've been on this guy for 4 or 5 years. I'm sorry. You could bring me all the stats and Pro Football Focus bullshit all you want, but the all-22 film shows a completely different story. I don't give a fuck about 31 arm punts. I don't give a fuck about that. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm just saying, why isn't nobody picking him up if he's so great? Why? Yeah. I don't want to hear your mental gymnastics on this.
Well, I don't want to hear Sandy Clough. I don't want to hear your mental gymnastics when you say on your fucking radio station, whatever, when you say, oh, well, Vic Fangio needs to sign Justin Simmons. Why would he do that? Are you mentally incompetent for you to understand that Justin Simmons and Vic Fangio never got along?
I got to talk about that. I have to talk about that because Sandy Cheeks Clough, right? He was leading the parade on getting Fangio out of town. And when Justin Simmons, we talk, all this talk about Sean Payton and Russell Wilson and the chewing out on the sideline. What about the chewing out on the sideline Justin Simmons did to Vic Fangio and everybody? Oh, it's all Vic Fangio. We're going to let these players coach themselves. And Sandy Cheeks was a part of that. That whole mantra, that whole campaign to run Fangio out of town. Let these players. He's holding these players back because they're so great, right? Front office will tell you how great they are. Top 10, right? Top 10. They can't make the playoffs even when it's handed to them in 5 games. Literally handed to them. They still as soon as the team didn't make mistakes, as soon as they even the lowly New England Patriots played a mistake-free ball and they couldn't even come close to beating them. As soon as they play a team that doesn't make mistakes, they can't beat that team.
Well, first off, why to expand on your point, Chops Liver, why in the hell would Fangio bring him to Philadelphia when he already has a safety room already intact? I mean, it's just
better safeties.
These people, these detractors are so mentally fucking retarded. I'm going to say it. They're fucking stupid that they don't look at the 53-man roster. All they fucking look at is quarterbacks, receivers. Fuck the offensive line. fuck the defensive line, fuck the linebackers, fuck good safety play.
Top 10.
Yeah, fuck
10.
good front office, fuck scouting, fuck film breakdown. All I need is Pro Football Focus, quarterback and receivers and running backs. That's all I fucking need on a roster. But I mean, why do you? In my personal opinion, the time that Kareem Jackson was here playing safety was a much better safety than the whole entire career of Justin.
Remember we showed video of that time and time again. Kareem Jackson would have to come all the way over from his side of the field to make the play.
Yes.
We're like, and then, he plays like Brian Dawkins. Oh, shame on him. Shame on him.
Yep, out of the league. You're out of the game.
Yeah. Just,
and
balls
Justin
are in the
Simmons,
NFL
everybody
first.
said, well, Justin Simmons can't have that mindset to play like Kareem Jackson. That dude has never had that fucking mindset to play like
No.
Don't give me that fucking shit. Okay, if he played in the Troy Polamalu era, the Ed Reed era, that dude would have got cut, like you said, or that guy would have been playing in the CFL, or that guy wouldn't even fucking made it in the NFL because
he wouldn't have made it in the NFL.
The dude fucking sucks. I mean, his tackling was horrific. His play
angles,
his makeup speed. I mean, my God, that guy was so bad. He was the worst safety in the NFL, and the only people that thought he was good was that incompetent front office, which we're going to get into in just a minute. Elway and the content creators and the delusional Walmart General fans. Those were the only people that thought he was good. And I remember doing a video of him and Jesse Bates, who you liked from the Cincinnati Bengals. You even got into it with Cincinnati Bengal fans because they said they would rather have Justin Simmons over Jesse Bates. Jesse Bates is a top-level safety in the league.
Well, just a disclaimer here. Not all of them did, because there was like wait a minute. Wait a minute. There was a wait a minute by a section of their fans. Wait a minute. And then you showed the film, and people, even the Pittsburgh Steelers were like, "Holy cow, man, this guy is really bad."
You remember when him and
yes.
You remember when Mika Fitzpatrick was when they played the Steelers that one year, and Mika was yelling at Justin Simmons?
Yeah,
he's like,
warrior.
Yeah. Why do you think that is? Because Justin Simmons runs his mouth. He says he's a great safety, and then Mika Fitzpatrick is out there making plays, and he's like, "What now, dude? What are you going to do? You can't do shit."
Yeah.
If I was a player on the Steelers and I saw Justin Simmons do, I would have roasted him.
I want to get into this this gaslighting that just constant. It's just it never ends. The never-ending gaslighting by this front office and their content creators. Sandy Cheeks and Rotar can't just fathom it. They give you the PFF. He's a nice guy. He's such a nice guy. He's such a good guy. He's got a charity he's running. And they can't the problem is that unlike the Rockies, who get their fair share of criticism by these same people,
the Nuggets,
deservingly so, you cannot criticize and give. You can't do what we do. You can't give the honest, and believe me, if let's just put it this way, let's just say fantasize here. Let's say this ownership actually listened to Harbaugh and said, "You know what? Okay, we'll go ahead and clear all those idiots out of the front office have been here far too long. You build this front office the way you see it's supposed to be done. We would still be critical. Yes, we would still be critical, but at least it would be 180 degrees of what you're seeing now. And we would be more positive. We would say, okay, you're making an effort. You're trying to break away from that wash, rinse, repeat. It'll be different this year. Wash, rinse, repeat. It'll be different this year. You'll see. This would be a completely different channel, but when we cannot be different, we cannot, until they change, we can't change. Because they keep doing the same thing over and over and over and over and over again. Everything has been the same for the last going on 9 years. Everything is the same. Splash move at quarterback. Check. We got a new head coach. Check. Blame everybody but the front office. Check. It's what is it now? We have Sean Payton. Talking. We're all these content creators. This is Sean Payton's first year. Excuse me, no. No. You all said that Sean Payton was here to fix. You'll see. You are the you'll see people out there. All you content creators saying that Sean Payton is going to work his magic. You'll see. He is going to transform Russell Wilson. It's such a symbiotic relationship. This is Sean Payton's second year. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. We said, again, because we're the most accurate actual football channel on the entire world, let's just tell it like it is.
Yeah.
We said there's no way Sean Payton and Russell Wilson are going to mesh in any, it doesn't even make sense. Oh, you guys don't know what you're talking about. And then what do we see this time of year? At the end of the season, the draft, we see our subscriptions go up not because people want to actually hear what's going on. They get into delusion. So we see the rise in the subscription. It's that time of year. You'll see, I'm going to come back and I'm going to tell you just how wrong you've been for what now, 8 going on 9 years. We're just used to this. It's a ritual here. And then once the season gets going, those subscriptions start going back down. Once reality, the Kool-Aid is finally not turned into reality. Subscriptions start going out because you people run with your tail between your legs. You find out you were just suckered again. And I just want to say that I haven't seen anything different in 9 years. Okay, this draft was right out of the what on Russell Wilson's last year. This time last year, Russell Wilson's final year, the year that he was supposed to get fixed. What did Sean Payton say when the content creators tried to make it seem that Elway isn't existing anymore? Sean Payton and George Payton together said he's got an office. He obviously, quote, obviously he's going to be around a lot, end quote. Obviously he's going to be around a lot. He's got an office down, and I'm looking forward to both Sean Payton and George Payton looking forward to working with him, meaning the draft, because the draft was coming up, and George Payton said he'd be working with John Elway. And just looking at last year's draft, it looks right. It's a chip off the old John Elway block. You called it right before each one. You're going to get a quarterback. This is before the draft, we were saying. Once they went after Zach Wilson, we knew right then it was on for a quarterback. And then we find they're trying to go before that. They're trying to go up
top three,
work with Atlanta, top three, work with Atlanta at least work with Atlanta. Didn't pan out. They panic. Okay, they're after if one drops to them. I will make a correction. I'm not saying that they absolutely positively didn't want Bo Nix from a strictly we don't want him. He was not their first choice. If they could have got their first choice, they wouldn't want Bo Nix. But Bo Nix was good enough, like everything else with the Broncos, good enough that when he dropped it, then soon as he dropped, they will go out and get the overrated receiver. They go and what is it? They get an edge rusher, right? Overrated receiver, a linebacker they really didn't need, or a running back they really didn't need.
A fucking that sucks.
What's that?
A corner that sucks that you did a film breakdown
corner / safety. Yeah, corner / safety. That's right. A chip off the old.
And then to top it all off, with the typical Walmart Generals, they dropped a fucking guard / center in the 7th round, who sucks.
Yeah, expecting that. Oh, and then we got to talk about this top 10. You can call this defense what you want. People out there, you can call it what you want. You can call it the top 5 defensive line. Excuse me. You can call this offensive and defensive line what you want. Let's start with the offensive line. You can call it a top 5 offensive line. If that's what you want to do, call it. I mean, if you're going to call it top 10, call it top 3. Just go all out. But I can show you the film. We got film on the channel here, and he's got film on his channel where we show the inconsistency outside of the holding. And just to let you know, we're a fair, equal opportunity. We point out the other team's holding as well. During the Buffalo Bill game, their right tackle was holding Cooper, I believe it was Cooper he was holding relentlessly. He was relentlessly holding Cooper, and I think they got rid of him. I think they cut him. So, unlike the Denver Broncos. So, you can't. How do you explain the inconsistency? So you can have the top three. You want to call them top three? I'm fine with that. But they're inconsistent. They're inconsistent in the running game, and they're inconsistent in the passing game, which is going to affect the quarterback. So you can keep calling them anything you want, but it's going to. They don't want to address it, is what it is, because this front office just believes it's top 10. They believe that. They just like they believe everything else. It's Russell Wilson's fault. Last year was all Russell Wilson's fault. That's what they believe. They don't believe in looking at themselves. They don't believe in looking inward. Harbaugh tried to explain that to them, but they didn't want to do that. So this is just going to keep going on. And that's why we haven't changed. They haven't changed. We ain't given them the chance they don't deserve. Go ahead.
I want to back up and talk about Harbaugh because, and then I'll talk about, got a little ahead of yourselves here, but I want to talk about Harbaugh because that's one key ingredient that I really want to press right now is this Harbaugh situation. I did a video talking about this, and you corrected me 3 times I visited him. I thought it was twice. That's my correction there. I will correct myself on that.
At least 3 times.
At least 3 times. And Harbaugh kept saying to the ownership group, this inept ownership group, which I've called from day one, that's really fucking inept. You have teams that have got new owners over the past decade. We're talking about the Panthers with David Tepper, who got rid of that front office. You have the Commanders with Josh Harris, who got rid of that front office. You have Mark Davis, who finally got rid of that front office with the Raiders. And the one thing I could say about the Raiders is they actually are trying on their offensive defensive lines, unlike the fucking Walmart Generals. So those are 3 examples, just 3 examples. And Harbaugh was saying over and over and over again, you got to clean out this front office. I want to bring in people that have the same vision that we can get.
Well, we strongly believe that. We strongly believe that was the contention.
I want to bring in a front office that can scout players, that I know a system that fits and that I can run. And they kept saying, well, we're going to stick with they attached their head to this front office, this John Elway led front office. And again, the ineptitude of this ownership group is just mind boggling to me, because even if a corporation like them that comes from Walmart, wouldn't you think that they would try and clean out a bad, it makes no fucking sense to me. It makes no logical sense. And then these illogical dumbasses, Walmart General fans and content creators are defending that shit. And I'm just like, you guys are just weird. You guys are just weird. And so Harbaugh, you watched the documentary.
Well, that's where the money is. The money is
where the money is. I mean, all they care about is getting rid of the Pat Bullen practice field and naming it something fucking stupid. And then they're trying to get a new scoreboard, new turf, all this shit, rather than focusing on the product on the field. Like we said, they're focusing on the product off the field more than on the field. Their jerseys look like the shits I take in the morning.
Well, I like the Charger bolt that they have on this.
Oh yeah, the
Charger bolt. That's good.
But anyway, you watched the documentary on Harbaugh, and I've watched Harbaugh for 8 years at Michigan. Even before Michigan, I watched him with the 49ers. And the one thing that I love about Harbaugh is he is a builder. He is a builder. He is a team builder. With Harbaugh at Michigan, one thing that I appreciated from Harbaugh was the whole approach of we're not going to blow our load in the transfer portal. We're going to go out and get players from the high school ranks and develop them through our system so they don't leave in the transfer portal. And that's why they were so good over this past 8 years. They were so sustainably good. They only won one national championship. They were always in national championship contention because of how the vision that he had for Michigan, the vision that he had on those offense and defensive lines. And I know this isn't a Husker channel, but the one thing I could say about, and I've been sending you stuff about Nebraska this offseason, the one thing that they're doing is they're not spending their load in the transfer portal. They're going out and scouting and getting high school players developing so they can stay there at the University of Nebraska. Matt Rule basically said when he came to Nebraska, he's taken the approach to what Harbaugh did at Michigan. He basically said that.
Well, I want to go full circle to this Justin Simmons thing. You said it yourself. They're scratching their heads. The trend now in the NFL that works with teams, the Rams, the Lions, Chiefs, that you're seeing is this draft and develop. This plug and play is old, archaic, and they just can't let go of it.
I would put the Ravens in that too as well.
Yeah, I mean we could talk about it, maybe even Green Bay too, maybe to a
Tampa Bay.
Tampa Bay's, these teams are starting to catch on to it. Even the Raiders have gotten rid of it.
I would even go as far to say, Chop Liver, the Chargers are starting to do that with Harbaugh.
Well, they have to because they got Harbaugh. Harbaugh's going to definitely it's going to be Harbaugh's way or the high. They ain't going to be no more of that soft culture over there. That's what this organization needs. They need to get back to old Denver Bronco football. Roll up the sleeves, blue collar. We're going to smash you in the mouth kind of thing. That's not what you got here. It's these players are prima donnas. They're all, already Bo Nix has got a gold jacket. I mean, how dare you, think otherwise.
The commercials.
Nobody holds them accountable.
Well, the commercials that they're making as well for him.
Sure, the documentaries. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, they didn't. What are they? They don't have anything to prove. What? Remember Fangio? They ran Fangio. And what was the whole thing with bringing in Sean Payton? We'll hold them accountable now. Well, you were just saying 30 seconds ago.
Time out. That was before Sean Payton chopped liver. You remember when they brought in Flacco and Fangio? Fangio, they said the same fucking thing, dude.
That's why they had to go. You do not tell this John Elway-led front office that their players suck. And they need to be held accountable. You definitely don't tell Justin Simmons he needs to be held accountable. No. He's going to. He's going to jaw on the sideline. Yeah, he's going to jaw on the sideline with Fangio. Yeah, because he's just too good. All these players are just too good.
People even said I clearly remember when Sandy Clough was with 104.3 The Fan at the time. I remember that time frame when they hired Fangio, they brought in Flacco, and they said, that's it. We're going to hold this front office accountable. And then they did the same Russian roulette bullshit where they're like, oh, no, we're not going to hold him accountable. It's all Fangio and Flacco's
It's all Fangio. It's all this person's fault. It's all that person. It's all now it's Russell.
Man, God.
And when this whole thing implodes, it's going to be all Sean Payton's fault, George Payton included. It just never ends.
Which we predicted.
Yes, and you had a chance. As an ownership, you had a chance. It was given to you. You had Harbaugh right there, and I'm telling you, I'm going to tell you right now, if Harbaugh transforms the lowly Chargers into a smash-mouth football team and is dominating the Denver Broncos, dominating the Denver Broncos, I'm going to be relentless on this ownership. You had it in your hand, but you didn't have the sense to listen to what the guy was saying. Go ahead.
No, you are dead on.
Sounded too much like us.
Absolutely fucking dead on, Chotsliver. You are dead on, my friend, because I'm telling you right now, they got rid of the Austin Ecklers of the world, the elusive. They are going to be a smash-mouth, run-first football team. They are going to run it down your fucking – they will probably run it 20 to 30 times a game. I'm telling you right now, dude.
You can talk – yeah.
They got rid of their receivers. They got rid of their fucking injury-prone, overpaid receivers, and they started focus. They rebuilt that. They are rebuilding that defense. They still have the best safety in the division in Derwin James. They drafted my top linebacker in the draft in Junior Colson, linebacker out of Michigan.
Let me ask you this: are they going to get deep in the offensive line? Are they going to get rid of the soft offensive linemen from last year? The ones that now. They
drafted my top tackle in the draft in Joe Alt.
Yes. This is you can sit there. Hold on.
Dude, they are going to have one of the best.
Hold on. You can sit there, detractors, and talk about top 10 this, top 10 that. But until you start putting player personnel out there that actually know how to play this smash mouth offensive line in both the passing and in the running game, you ain't going to compete with these actual top 5, top 3, top 10 offensively. You're just not going to do it. You can sit there and tell me all your top this and to go to PFF, and if you think that's going to save you, fine. I'm telling you, it's coming. This season's coming.
Well, I'm just telling you
coming.
right now, your offensive line isn't better than the Raiders. Your offensive line isn't better than the Chargers, and your offensive line sure as hell ain't better than the Chiefs with that offensive line. I mean, come on, guys. Are you that fucking stupid or something? Like, honestly,
they are. Yes,
they are fucking delusional as hell.
Front office. It's the front office gaslights everybody on this. They even have national people, as usual, per the usual. They're guards. It's like, this organization is like having an alcoholic sibling. Like, this alcoholic sibling of yours has a PR department who comes up with every excuse to tell you that he or she doesn't have a drinking problem. No, it's this fault, it's that fault, it's the other fault. No, you have a drinking problem. Oh no, and then they got like 10 bloggers out there saying how wrong the brother or sister that's calling the other one out for being a drunk. It's just an alcoholic. It's just
I'm telling you, man. I am telling you. You guys can laugh about Chargers and all you want, dude. I'd rather be in the Chargers' shoes right now, man. I'm telling you right now, dude. I am warning you, folks. Yet again, I am warning you. Harbaugh, dude. I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry, chopped liver. They brought in scouts from the Baltimore Ravens. They brought a GM from the Baltimore. I am telling you right now, they are not going to be in the soft culture.
That's what I'm trying to say. That's why I said it before the Chargers hired him, that there had been, that was made a point.
It was ownership, they got rid of their GM in front office, dude.
Exactly, and brought in this. That's what he wanted to do. And I'm telling you right now, if the Chargers become the smash mouth dominant team, I am going to be livid. I am going to be pissed. I'm going to be livid. And I am not going to let this ownership off the hook.
I am telling you right now, Chops Liver, the offense coordinator that they got, that franchise guy was shitting all over Greg Roman. Dude, I'm telling you right now, that dude is a run-first offense coordinator. They got Gus Edwards. They got a deep running back field.
I'm
telling you right now,
not roll up the handcuffs. It's roll and walk through the doo-doo. It's roll up the sleeves and get to work.
They got one of the better left tackles in the league in Rashawn Slater, who I wanted over Patrick Surtain. They got Joe Wall at the right tackle position. They're already rebuilding that interior offensive line with big physical 6'5", 330-pound. Oh, dude.
Good luck with that. Yeah, good luck with that top 10. Good luck with that top 10. Good luck with that. You can give me all your top 10 crap all you want, but it ain't going to.
Top liver. I went back before we did this video. When I asked you wanted to do a video, that time that we had, I'm telling you, I went back and looked at the Chargers draft. This is going to piss you off even more. The sheer fact that they got receivers that are more well known for blocking than they are, dude, I'm telling you, bro, they are going to block the absolute shit. You really think that Patrick Surtain is going to get off his blocks against these blocking receivers that the Chargers have, dude? Dude, I'm telling you, the fullbacks that they have, it's going to be in the tight end room that they got, dude. It's going to be a block-heavy scheme, dude. It's going to be a power run, block-heavy, physical, smash in the mouth type, and they're going to play action off of that shit.
Well, you only have to do one thing with this defense is just run on its edges. These great edges that they have. And you did a film study on the guy they just drafted, and they just run the shit out of that guy. I mean, you just can't. It's just wash, rinse, repeat every year.
Yeah, your line,
they
are
going to be different.
When they start, I'm telling you, Top Deliver, once they establish that they can run on the edge, then that middle is going to open up, and then they're going to get to that second level against these shitty-ass middle linebackers, and they are just going to punch, and they're going to get 10, 15-plus yard runs every fucking time. Mark my words. Harbaugh is going to run the shit out of the football.
Well, and that's just going to make it, and for real, instead of giving it lip service like they do here all the time.
Yeah.
And and I'm not a big Herbert, never was a big Herbert fan.
Neither am I.
But it will make his job so much easier.
Exactly.
It'll make his job so much easier. And that's what they need.
That's culture change, what they're doing in with the Chargers. Here at Denver, that's not culture change. Getting rid of Jerry Jeudy and Justin Simmons and then bringing in little Jordan Reynolds. Dude, I just...
Josh Reynolds.
Josh Reynolds, who you have a similar player in little Jordan Humphrey, who's 24, 25 years old, who's a 6'5", 200 and some pounds, who's a big physical... This team never fucking learned shit.
Yeah, and I can just see him. I can see him. I can see him getting run out of
Oh
town.
yeah, I can see him going to the Chargers.
You're going to the Chargers. I know. This team just doesn't learn. I see nothing.
Dude, this ownership group is inept, Chopped Liver. You brought it up earlier. It is so inept. Even if we were billionaires, Chopped Liver, you and I were starting an ownership group and we were buying, let's just hypothetically say we bought this organization formerly known. Why the fuck would I tie my hip to a front office that's been inept since 2017?
Well, you had two things. If everybody says believe me. Well, here's the thing. If we were the owners,
running the team, this team wouldn't be as bad as it is now. I'm telling you that right now.
Let me explain that. I'm not. That's just you talking. But this is the reality. You can go back in our archives. We never would have done the Russell Wilson deal. Number one. Okay.
Yep.
We never would have hired what's his face, Sean Payton. We never would have brought him. Pat Shurmur wouldn't have done. Hold on, somebody's at the door pounding. Hang on.
All right. He would have never brought in Pat Shurmur first and foremost. We never would have got to the level that it is now. We wouldn't have went through so many quarterbacks. We would have probably stuck with the Rich Scangarello, Mike Munchak, and build out of that. Kept Teddy Bridgewater, kept that system, okay? Kept the West Coast zone running principles. Developed the players. Developed Drew Lock, okay? Focus on the defense. You had Vic Fangio, who was a defensive-minded head coach. Let him bring in the players that he wanted. Scout the players that he wanted to bring in his defensive system, okay? We would have never went out and got the Gregories. We would have never went out and got the re-signed Justin Simmons. We would have never drafted Patrick fucking Surtain, who, in my opinion, is the most overrated corner in the NFL. We would have never got to that level. That is the point that we're trying to make. The ineptitude that we have gone through over the past 9 years has been historical, folks. We would have never even got to the level of Sean Payton. Never, ever. We would have rebuilt this front office. We would have brought in scouts that fit a system. We would have. Go ahead, Chuck.
Oh, I'm being summoned. Hang on a second.
We would have rebuilt the offense and defensive lines the real way. We would have got coverage linebacking. In my personal opinion, the way I would have done it if I bought this team is I would have kept Rich Scangarello, Mike Munchak, Vic Fangio. That's the way I would have done it.
I'm sorry about that. It just never ends. At least I'm not choppy, am I?
You're still choppy, but you're coming in clear.
Oh, okay. Well, if I'm being interrupted, you need to have me go on audio. Okay. I'm sorry. You say it's just everything's got to. Here at the studio, that everybody just ignores the on air.
Yeah.
We need Frankie to go and run his mouth. So.
Go ahead, Chopped Liver. Hypothetically, running the organization, what you would have done. That's where you left off.
Well, what I would have done is a couple of things you could have even done is you had Rich Scangarello, and you were talking about time frames. Let's say we got the team when the owners got it.
Okay.
We'd be stuck with Russell Wilson. Okay. But it would be stuck with that deal. Okay, because that was done by the trust. So that by itself would have been, you're out of here. You had opportunity to get Harbaugh, and you had an opportunity to get Adam Peters. I would get a high caliber GM or a high caliber coach who's got a proven track record. You had that fall in your lap with Harbaugh. And I would have allowed him to do what he does best, and that's build an organization.
So, Chalk Deliver, the one thing that I want to expand on that point, the level. Now, this is my level of thinking, because deep thinking here. I would have got Harbaugh, then I would have got elite scouts around him that got players.
Well, that's what they did. That's why you brought in Harbaugh in the first place. He has the connections to do that.
To be perfectly honest with you, I wouldn't have brought in Adam Peters first and foremost. I probably would have went to the Baltimore Ravens system and got somebody that wants to run, like if he wanted to run a West Coast system, I would have got Peters. But if he wanted to run a power blocking system,
that's what I'm saying. You have these choices to make. Adam Peters, what I would have done for Adam Peters is make sure that he doesn't have an Elway or a Magic Johnson.
Yep.
Tapping him on the shoulder. Let's get a coach that wants to run this San Francisco system.
Yes.
The old Denver Broncos system, the old West Coast type system. Let's get these scouts. Let's get these people that know. Let's get coaching and defense. What are we going to do with the defense? Are we going to run a 4-3? Going to run a 3-4? And stick to that player personnel. You had Dan Quinn an opportunity with Dan Quinn, So you could have ran a 4-3 defense. You know what I'm saying is that there were options out there.
Yeah.
And I don't, I can't even call this a Vance Joseph defense. I think it's a front office defense.
It's a I don't even know what it's like a hybrid. I don't know. To be perfectly, I don't know what defense this is. It's like a hybrid defense.
Yeah, it is. It is. It's a defense that just doesn't know its identity.
Yeah, you got a 4-3 players and you got 3-4. It just doesn't make any logical sense.
Well, look at the offensive line. You got a power gap coach, but he's got agile. He's got agile guys on the tackle positions. It's just,
it's bad. It's bad.
I mean, and you know what? We're talking about top 10. We were showing just how bad McFlinchy was this whole season.
It's gonna be just as bad this year, guaranteed.
His run blocking has gone down the tubes.
I know.
That was the one thing.
Well, the one. Well,
that was
again,
the one thing.
Go ahead.
I think it was the one thing that was supposed to be his saving grace, and we would look at it and just like, wow, man, where is this guy? He can't even move a molehill. I mean, it's just
the one guy I feel bad for on that offensive line is Quentin Miners, man, because that dude actually has some talent. They're Dalton Reisnering him again. They're doing the same fucking thing they did to Dalton Reisner.
Yeah. But instead of Dalton Reisner, he's a West Coast guy, but this guy's a power gap guy, but they're doing the same thing to him. How can you have a top 10 offensive line if you don't have
in this fucking trash? I mean, yeah, Alex Forsythe, really? I mean, Alex Forsythe.
When you have a mismatch, nobody does that. That's good. Nobody does that garbage. It's just so frustrating.
It is.
You watch it on film and you're just like, oh my God.
And you know what? We talk about the offensive line, but I think one thing that's been even worse than the offensive line, and I can't believe I'm going to say this, is that interior defensive line. I mean, we haven't had a good interior defensive line since Malik Jackson and Derek Wolfe.
They even leave that alone. They don't even want to talk.
They don't talk about it.
No. And they know
we got Malcolm Roach. Malcolm Roach? Are you kidding me? That dude is undersized. He's a rotational. He's not even. Dude. I did a film breakdown on Malcolm Roach, so go check it out. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, isn't it more excuse making?
Every year.
Every friggin' year.
Every year.
All right. That
think-
was the extermination guy, the pest control guy. Is there anything else?
Nope. I'll let you get to your pet extermination.
Pest extermination.
Yep,
Yeah.
pest.
I'm just trying to think. So this is a Justin Simmons. This is our Justin Simmons. Doesn't, gets no love.
You suck. Say all you want, Simmons. You suck.
Oh, these Walmart General fans will take more suck. They'll want him back. You'll see. You'll see. I want more of that.
Yep.
Because they just don't want good. They just
of course they
good.
don't.
All they want is good enough. Good enough that if we could just eke out 9 wins, we could just eke that out. It'd be a Super Bowl right there. Once every 9 years, eke out a 9-win season. That'll be a Super Bowl.
The Jeff Fisher Bowl. Woohoo!
Just so we can say we're turning a corner. Another 5 years of just turning a corner.
You ain't turning shit. I am predicting this year is going to be. Yeah, I'm telling you right now. Whatever.
I don't know if you keep up with the content creators, but let me ask you this. They're all talking about who's winning the quarterback competition. Am I guessing they're all saying Bo Nix?
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, I don't even have to watch it. I just know.
Yeah. We already know it's predetermined, just like the Drew Lock, Teddy Bridgewater, and it's that all over again.
Yeah. So, well, are they going to let him start in the preseason, or is he going to have to act like he's working his way up?
He's going to have to act, and then he'll be annoyed.
Well, what they can do is they can rotate.
Yeah, they'll gaslight it. They'll gaslight it like they do with this organization year after year after year.
Yeah. Oh, he took off, so I guess you made that quick. No, I'm talking to my co-host,
Bucket Man.
Coach Bucket Man.
Alrighty. Well,
I hope I'm not too choppy. If I was,
you got better as the video went on.
That's good. That's good. Yeah. So this is very frustrating. We got to put up another year of this.
You know what's frustrating is when the 3 other teams in your division are getting better. You got the Chargers.
Nobody out there wants to explain why is this team just getting worse and worse and worse each year.
Well, I mean,
nobody wants to even
office. Well, first off, you have an ownership group that's inept. That's where the buck stops. This front office that's been in there since 2017 is absolute dog crap. And then you have the content creators that are just enabling all that shit.
Yeah, total enabling. Yeah, yep, absolutely. Okie doke. Well, we are gonna go sayonara on you right now, and I got a business I got to take care of.
All right, Kirk out.
Kirk out.